My name is Missy Crocker, and me, my husband, and my 2 kids own and operate Mason County Feeders and MTXBeef located in Mason, Texas. MTXBeef really started over a cocktail and a campfire. The pandemic had hit, and we live in a super rural, small community, and typically the last people to be considered as far as big box delivery and grocery delivery. So a lot of people came to us as the local, kind of the larger cattle producer in our area and said, okay, the pandemic hit, we're worried about the supply, the food chain supply, what can you do for us? So we knocked on the doors of multiple processors, and we finally got one to say yes to us. We were kept growing, and then we eventually grew to 6 different processors. We wanted to have quality control. It's really hard to do that when you're working with 6 different processors. So we were kind of capped. And so at that point in time, it was to hover where MTXBeef was, or it was to purchase our own plant and start producing for ourselves. We had 2 different decisions that we could make. Do we build it from the ground up, or do we look into the modular units with Friesla? Me and Justin are always used to being the big decision makers, you know, and then we're also the executors and the logistics makers and all of those things that come with making a big decision. Once we started learning all the services that Friesla provided for us, we kind of stepped back and we realized our zone of genius is raising cattle. So we ended up going with the Friesla system for many different reasons. One of the main reasons is the ability to get up and running at a much faster pace. Building a plant to spec is a really lengthy process, but it's like it was picked up, it was dropped down, and boom, it passed inspection. So it was really awesome for that to happen. It probably cut off a year of planning as opposed to a stick build. There was a guide in erecting this plant and getting it operational. I mean, it's hard work, yes, but y'all made it a lot less hard than it could have been. And so I think that you guys are given the opportunity back to the small producer, where 2 years ago, we didn't have that opportunity. Having the processing unit on site for us has been a game changer. A lot of the problems that we were having throughout using 6 different processors is just that everybody has their own zone of genius. They do things a little bit differently. But when you're providing to, let's say, meat markets or restaurants, consistency is really what they're looking for. So it was really hard to bring those 6 together and produce a very consistent and sustainable product. But when you are in control of your product, it gives you the liberty to be able to perfect things so that your end customer receives exactly what they ordered. I feel confident with the product that we're delivering because I saw it from beginning to end. My husband has been involved in agriculture for generations, and we've fallen in love with it. And we fear that it's going to be an industry that our 2 kiddos are not going to be able to be a part of if we don't become active. And so our main goal is to bring that industry back to our family, back to our community, back to our people, and so that our 2 boys, when they choose a career path, that they have the opportunity to include being part of the processing plant and the feed yard and to carry on that tradition in the agricultural industry. I'm not doing this for me by any means. You know, I enjoy it, I love it, but Justin and I are both doing it for the longevity of our family, so that's number 1.